Muhammad was known for being gullible and believing whatever people told him. This explains why he spread so many silly claims. He said that Adam was 90 feet tall, 60 cubits.
David Wood, same David Wood, tried to kill his father with a hammer, was put into a mental hospital by his mother, and was cursed with 2 disabled kids, takes Hadith out of context now, or out of their true context. Now, the first point to keep in mind here is nowhere in the Bible does it say how tall Adam was. So this claim that Adam was, I don't know, like very tall or a giant or 90 feet tall or whatever is not unbiblical. The other point is that giants existed in the Bible. So if Adam is the father of all mankind, as the Bible says, then he was also a giant himself. Because if Adam was the father of all mankind, and if there were giant humans after Adam, that means Adam himself was a giant himself, because his offspring or his children were giants. So that means that Adam was a giant himself, being the father of all mankind. The Bible, or at least the Old Testament, tells us there were giants during the time of Noah, Moses, etc., and King David, etc. We read in Genesis chapter 6, verse 4, the text says giants. So there were giants in the time of Moses, or in the time of Noah. There were the Amorites in Amos chapter 2, verse 9 to 10, who were considered to be as tall as Caesar trees, or trees. So that means there were giants. In Deuteronomy 2, chapter 2, verse 10 to 11, there were giants around during Moses' time. 2 Samuel chapter 21, verses 15 to 22, giants were around during David's time. And also the story of David and Goliath. We know the story of David and Goliath. Goliath was very tall. I think Goliath was 9 feet tall or something like that. Someone can correct me in the comments, but I believe Goliath was 9 feet tall, which is taller than the average human height at that time. Regardless, the height of Adam was 60 feet, 60 cubits, according to this hadith, but other hadith reports clarified that it was so in the heavens. Thus, Adam was 90 feet tall in heaven. See Ustadha Aisha Bewley's translation of Sahih Bukhari, Hadith 3149. Scholars like Imam al-Qurtubi and the late Shaykh Anwar Shah al-Kashmiri have said that this hadith means that the inmates, or the people of heaven or paradise, will have the same height of Adam, who was 90 feet tall in the heavens. This clarifies the first point, that Adam's height was 90 feet tall in heaven or paradise, according to this Bukhari hadith, and does not say anything about his height after he landed on earth. So Adam was 90 feet tall in heaven, as clarified in that hadith. Thus, the Bukhari hadith clarifies that Adam was 90 feet tall in heaven, and we don't know what his height was when he reached earth. But regardless, the Bible supports the idea that there were giants on earth, according to the Old Testament. So again, if Adam is the father of all mankind, if there are giants on earth after Adam, then Adam himself was a giant. So stay tuned for the next part of David Wood's video. I'm going to be refuting like another part of his video. Stay tuned for that. So hopefully this clarifies that Bukhari hadith, or this tells what that Bukhari hadith really meant, that Adam was 90 feet tall in heaven, and the hadith doesn't say how tall he was after he landed on earth. But regardless, this is not an error, as this finds support in the Bible, and that hadith David Wood did not quote in context.